Welcome to the podcast. Now that I'm engaged, how do I get married? I'm your host, Kevin Dennis.
And I'm August Joker, co-host and brand manager at Fantasy Sound Event Services.
In addition to leading the charge at Wedding IQ, I also run Fantasy Sound Event Services, a lighting and entertainment company based in Livermore, California, that I founded over 35 years ago.
Each week on this podcast, we'll explore a new corner of wedding planning so you can prepare for your I-dos without the stress.
From budgeting to booking vendors to the day of drama.
Let's talk smart wedding planning.
All right, folks, we've come to the end.
To the end.
We made it to the end. So welcome to the last episode of Now That I'm Engaged, How Do I Get Married? Starring
Ever.
Kevin.
No, I'm just kidding.
Not. Don't say ever. of the hated 2025 year. We've come to the end.
I like 2025.
Nah, not everyone.
I didn't feel like it was that bad.
So, but we had lots of episodes, 27 episodes this year.
Mm-hmm.
Missy.
No, I know. That's quite a bit because, I mean, if you guys have been with us since the beginning, we only had 17 last year, so 10 more this year. Hopefully we get a whole, how many weeks are there in the year? Like 52? Yeah, so hopefully we have 52. 2026.
You should remember that stuff. So, but we had some of our most played episodes this year. We had Nora, our episode 35, and Mark Addington with episode 25, Tanya and Lindsay from episode 26, and then our first ever live episode 33, and then our first couple we ever interviewed on the podcast with DJ and Jacob were on episode 38. Those are our most played episodes of the year.
I know. I kind of like how it's a nice mix of types of episodes and types of people, and then also times of the year, right? It wasn't like all at the beginning or all at the end. It's kind of mixed, and I can appreciate that the listeners kind of moved around and, gave some love to other episodes too. So I think that's super cool. But
we're going to be doing another live episode next month from the Lighthouse. We've been requested to come back.
I know, I'm excited about that too, because I missed the last one. I was sick, unfortunately, but I'm excited to see it. And yeah, it's cool. We keep frequenting the Lighthouse as our live spot. But yeah, I mean, also congrats to all the guests we had on that were able to get those downloads. And just, thanks to the guests in general for coming on this year. It was great to have all of you, and hopefully we get some repeat guests back for you listeners out there.
And our most said word on the podcast was couples, remember?
Yes. Yeah, that was really funny. Shout out to Riverside, our recording platform. They made these cute little, kind of like the Spotify Wrapped concept, but just little videos. And one of them was, what was the most said word in couples? That makes a lot of sense since we are doing it for you, the couples. So I thought that was very cutesy.
So as we go through this, August, we like to recap a little, go back and look at some of the episodes. So did you have an episode that stuck out to you from this past year?
Yeah, let's see. So if you guys listened to our last episode of the year last year, so 2024 going into 2025, we did the same thing where we kind of revisited all of our episodes of the year and talked about our favorite moments and our favorite highlights. And I feel like I'm gonna kind of do two at once.
And
I don't know if this is not a cop out, but episode 19 and also episode I'm scrolling. Well, or was that one earlier in the year? Maybe it was just one when we had our own Fantasy Sound DJs. On the podcast. And I don't know why, but those are just like nonsensical fun. Like obviously we have a theme and we are trying to answer a question for the audience, but it's just fun when we get everybody together. And that one, I think, was one of the only podcasts we had where we were like almost an hour or over an hour long.
Yeah, we went a little too long. But you can't shut those two up.
No, I know. That's why it was so funny. And There's a lot of good little sound bites in that one, but anyway, that one, our topic was how DJs save the day on your event day, so just, like, wedding curveballs that you might not expect and essentially what their role is as a DJ, and they had some really great answers on there, and, they told a lot of good stories too, so if you're looking for a good story time episode, I feel like that's a good one to go back and revisit.
Yeah, I love it. It was fun, and it's hard not to laugh when you have Glenn, Norm, and I, yes,
Yeah.
making and we pretty much just make fun of each other the entire time, so that's what's a lot of fun about that one, so
We definitely need another DJ episode in 2026 for sure.
yeah, we will for sure do that.
Yeah.
So, alright, and then one that I think I drove you nuts on this episode
Oh,
more
okay.
I think you, like, hated me after this episode was our episode of coordinator versus full planning or full service planner with Lindsay and
Oh,
Tanya.
right, right. Yeah, no, he likes I was literally fine, but he always will bring it up and be like, he was beating an alleged dead horse the
I did,
entirety
I
of
did
the episode.
I did not let it go.
Do you wanna recap that moment
It was
for
the
the
mother-in-law
audience here? Yeah.
that made Lindsay wanted to flip off the other mom.
Yeah, no, that was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, in case you guys didn't listen to that one, Lindsay was telling a story. We were just talking about was it like Bridezilla's first and then we were like, "Oh, JK, it's actually the
Momzilla's.
moms that kind of tend to take on that role a little bit more so than our brides." But essentially, the two mother-in-laws were
Oh, no.
fighting,
Yeah,
right?
yes. Yeah, was it I thought or wasn't it the mom and the other and the new mom? I don't remember. But
Yeah,
there
like
was a it
both
was yeah, it was 2
mothers on each
moms.
side. They
Yeah,
were feuding. And then basically they were trying to use Lindsay, our guest coordinator, as the middleman and asked one mother-in-law asked Lindsay to flip off the other mother-in-law like a
yeah.
little message.
And I worked that in there as much as I could.
Yes.
I
And
did not
if we
let
have them back, you should
yeah,
bring that back around.
yeah.
But
It
yeah, as
was
far as that was I feel like a good episode. With all
yeah,
the
that
other content as well, not just the flipping off part.
well, you know me, I don't let it go. If you ask my wife, she'll agree that I say the same thing over and over again. So, it's
No,
supposed
it's
to
okay.
is there some kind of thing in there that you're supposed to be really smart if you do that? So, I've heard that before, so
Wait, what
I'm
is
just
it?
I don't know, if you say the same thing and different, like, things over and over again, it means you're really smart.
Oh,
So, maybe I am a little smart, not really smart, but just maybe a little bit.
yeah. Well, that was our 3rd most listened to episode, so
Yeah,
people were
yeah,
getting something out of it.
I know.
I think that was a good
I was
one.
thinking, okay, so moving on, we have quick talking about Kevin and flipping off people. Um, so it's episode 30 with Janice Carnival. It was how to
Yes.
plan the perfect wedding morning and stay on time. And she gave us so many good little tips and tricks on, like what time to do your hair and makeup and how many hours to plan, for beauty and just so much that I think couples forget what goes into the wedding morning. There's so much to go into it. And that wedding morning really determines is everything going to go off on time in the afternoon?
Mhm.
So,
No, I totally agree with that. I feel like she had a lot of good nuggets in a short amount of time. So if you're
hmm
looking for a lot of good information, that was a really good one and kind of a I mean, I feel like what we kinda talked about in that episode too is that we put so much focus on the reception and the ceremony, like the day, that you kind of overlook how important it is to plan ahead in the morning too.
hmm
And you wanna wake up on the right side of the bed. Well, and I don't know if we use that analogy, but, like, you know how people say, like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day? I almost
hmm
feel like you can apply that. Like, you need to make sure your
well,
morning goes well so the rest of your day
and if you don't
stays
eat a
going
good,
well.
yeah, you need some protein, you don't need to be eating donuts and pastries all morning and you turn into hangry, mean, bride or groom, you need to be happy and have a good breakfast, with protein and good food, and then that way you're going to have a so much better day. And that's where I think a lot of couples go wrong, is they eat crap on their wedding day because it's quick and easy.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Um, I want to talk about kind of, I guess kind of more of a niche category. I really liked Brittany Branson who came on.
I was going to do that one next.
Oh my god, really? Yeah, okay, so I'm
Yes.
glad I brought it up. Yeah, cuz I really feel like I don't know, like she had a lot of good info, but also like I think a theme on this podcast, and this honestly probably could have been one of our top words other than couple, is non-traditional. I feel like we
Yeah.
throw that word out a lot too, but I
Yeah.
do feel like couples are looking for more ways to be non-traditional and just unique in the experience of their
Well,
wedding
and
day.
one of my favorite things, guest experience. So,
Yes, that could be also, I feel like, a big
mhm,
word as well, but she is a live wedding artist, and she talked about kind of the beginning, middle, and end of that process and what you get out of it and what your guests get out of it. Like Kevin said, guest experience. It's not
mhm,
just a keepsake for you, but also a live entertainment option for your guests throughout the reception. And also a cool thing about her is I really liked how she was painting her way through the states. So she's
mhm.
working on doing a live wedding painting in each United States.
Yes, and she has
Yeah,
so many more to go, and I love that that's a kind of a fun little story, and her husband works for the airline, so it's easy for
right.
her to travel to all these different states, and yeah, and she'll go anywhere and bring her canvas, and it sounds like she's got it down to a science, yeah, so. And she's a really it's funny on so we're talking to brides and grooms and couples here, but um she does a lot on the wedding business side. So she's a really great speaker as well, and she's just a really good person with a big heart.
Yes. No, yeah, I totally got that. Very genuine, very sweet.
Yeah.
I
So
really
it's
liked
funny
her.
that we both went to that episode because I
Yeah,
thought it
it
was fun
needed
and
to be
unique.
highlighted.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then one more that we mentioned earlier that I think I was going to mention is episode 38, is where we
Okay.
had our couple that we both coordinated their wedding. We worked with
Yes.
them, but DJ and Jacob, and they were just such a fun couple that we wanted to bring them back, and we stole our the name of the podcast, but we said, now that I'm married, how can I help others? And
Mhm.
so I think that's a cool series that we're going to have to try to continue on in 2026 and go through. But they just kind of went through like their non-negotiables, and why mingle at cocktail hour, and they made a case for the first look, and building your good team. I mean, it was just one. They're two really good people, but it was just fun to hear, let couples hear from an actual couple that has been through it.
No, I agree, and I definitely wanna continue on with that because I think it's one thing to hear advice from, like, wedding professionals. Well, and I
Hmm.
think, like, different for you too, because Kevin, you've been married, but I haven't, but I'm also just taking my experience of what I've seen in the industry, but to hear it, like, fresh from someone and, hindsight is the clearest, so anyone who's just lived the experience can now kind of talk about, the ups, the downs, the middles, everything that came with that. I think that's very valuable to anyone who's currently in the process. And yeah, they were just I love DJ and Jacob. They were super cool. I love them.
Yes. But also, wasn't their episode the most listened to episode outside of the US, right?
On Spotify.
Yeah, on Spotify.
Yeah.
So many things to keep track of, but yes, on
Yeah.
Spotify.
They were
Yeah.
5th overall, but like first on
Yeah.
Spotify. They might have been first on YouTube too. I didn't include YouTube when we are talking about these numbers, but yeah, they were first on Spotify, which I think is super cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, definitely want to continue that
As we
series.
move on, yeah, I totally agree. It's fun. And
Yeah.
something else we need to continue, which we started and we never
Oh
got
yeah.
to finish, is wedding pros versus AI. Who
Yeah.
knows best? So,
I
and
definitely
what
think going
and
into
what's
that, I expected different than what we
yeah,
yeah. But I also think, because when did we record that? I think I put the date on there.
October 14th.
And can I just say, I mean, it's only been like 2.5 months since then, but I already feel like the conversation surrounding AI has already just been
Oh,
severely heightened.
yeah, and I think AI is getting stronger and more prevalent every day. So it
Yeah.
just as we go through this, but it was very interesting, and it was actually a lot of people in the wild were telling us that they really enjoyed that episode. So we will
Yeah.
have to put "Hey Girl, Hey" back to work, and what do you call
Oh,
your
Miss Girl.
Miss Girl? Yeah, yours is Miss
Yeah.
Girl, and my chat GPT is "Hey Girl, Hey." And so we got to put them back to work in 2026, and we'll continue down the wedding pros versus AI. Who knows best? So
Yeah. And I think
that
ultimately, like, if you guys haven't listened to that episode and your interest has been piqued, I think the goal is essentially to prove that, you know, while AI may seem like a good starting point, we really want you to put your trust into humans, into wedding professionals at the end of the day, because AI can only get you so far.
I think it's a good start. That's the
No,
best way
I
to look at
agree.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
I
a
think
good.
that's what we said at the beginning was like it's a
Hmm.
good like starting point, but should not be your end all be all for everything.
Yeah, I agree.
Um
All right.
I think another one I want to circle to, another kind of niche category which was like super interesting and I mean, I don't know if you knew, I didn't know existed when we did the episode was our guest Andrew Levitt from
Oh
Ironic.
yes,
He is a
don't you think?
yep. Yep, he is an event meteorologist, so essentially they use their concierge meteorology service. So they will work with couples to essentially predict what your weather might look like on the day of your wedding. So therefore you can kind of manage
Well, like,
provisions.
do you need heaters? Do you need shade? Do you need, extra
Yeah.
water? Yeah, they help you kind of bring it all together in practical ways to like, access risks that are involved with like flooding,
Yes.
wind, soft ground, for the grass because it rained the last week. Or yeah,
Yeah.
Andrew's a great guy, and I went to New Orleans in earlier this month
Oh
to
yeah.
because we're getting ready for the NACE experience, which will happen in New Orleans. And we were doing a site visit, and I happened to fly on an airplane back with him to Dallas. So
Oh, you didn't tell me that. That's
yeah,
so
yeah,
cool.
I ran into him at
Wow.
the airport, and he heard us talking crap about uh, the wedding industry, and then he chimed in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, I know you!" And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah,
No,
no, he's a
yeah.
really good guy, super smart, and I love because you can't get much more niche than event meteorology. But if you
Yeah.
think about it, like some people are like imagine like Taylor Swift and Mr. Kelsey, they they're planning a multi-million-dollar wedding. Therefore, don't you
Probably
want to know?
multiple days too.
Yeah, and don't you
Yeah.
want to know everything about that and how to accommodate and take care of the guests and
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah,
No, totally.
I just think it's a very much needed, interesting, very niche, but also, can you imagine the stories he gets?
No, I know, and we got a couple out of him. So if you guys want to hear those, go listen to that episode. But no, yeah, it was super cool. I'm trying to remember. One of them he told was really long, but it was crazy. Like I remember like a whole tent flew over and the tent had like chandeliers and stuff in it and they had to go replace it. But I think that was the part that I found even cooler was the fact that it's not just like, oh, a few months out, here's the info, do with that what you will. They're like holding your hand through the day
Yeah,
of your event, right? And they're
yeah.
there with resources, right? Like, oh, your tent did fall over. Oh, we do need this, we do need that. Because of the weather, they have vendors they can connect you with to solve those problems. And I thought that was just above and beyond super cool.
I agree. It was really fun. All right, and so speaking of Taylor and Travis, back in
Oh,
Oct oh,
good segue.
no, I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I may be becoming a professional at this
Yeah.
podcast thing, but anyway, episode 41,
Mhm.
we had Ariana and Susan, who are Taylor Swift, like, what do you call them? Swifties? Yeah.
Swifties.
Yeah, see, I don't even know. But I took the main lead as the host because you were also a guest on there because you're a Swiftie yourself, but
Yes.
we talked all things Taylor and Travis's wedding. So, and I told you I've had a dream that I was in like working their wedding, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
because just for everybody, like Kevin, like you came to me one day and you were like, "What if Taylor came and asked us to do her wedding? Should we do it?" And I was like, "Hell no!" And Kevin's like, "We could do it," and that's the difference between him and I.
I'm like,
But
yes.
he could
I
no,
would thrive in that chaos and taking care and I think the biggest pain in the butt for their wedding is gonna be Jason, keeping Jason
yeah.
under control, and but I also think Jason's gonna step up because I feel like he does that when it's time to let loose, he lets loose, but when it's time to step up, he 100% steps up.
Oh,
So,
1000%. And don't get me
yeah.
wrong, like I would love to be amongst the chaos, like you said, but would I want to be the one organizing the chaos? I don't
Oh,
know.
I would thrive.
But
I would
like
thrive in it. I would love it. I would love it
I will follow
100%.
your lead.
Yeah, I would love it, love it, love it. I would be right
Yeah.
there in the middle of it and making it all happen, and then, and then that hug at the end of the night from,
Oh my
Travis and
god.
Taylor would be absolutely amazing. That they could
Priceless.
yeah, they couldn't have done it without us, but yeah, I would thrive in it, I would love it, but I mean, we talked about it was funny, at the
Everything.
time, we didn't know when it was is it a fall timeline? Is it you know, when is it gonna happen? So it was that
Running
all
on just our imagination.
yeah, now we know it's June, right? Is it confirmed it's June?
I don't know if that source was verified. I'm not sure. That
Okay.
might have just been a rumor because I think we were like, we're not going to be sure until they say it.
Yeah.
But we essentially just took everything from the photo, the infamous engagement photo, and then the podcast episode. Right? That was out at the time.
Mhm. Yep,
I
we
think,
already yep, yep. The most watched podcast episode ever in history was Travis, Jason, and, Taylor.
and recorded on Riverside. Right?
Mhm. Yeah, it was. They
Yeah.
record on Riverside too.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah,
super
and
cool.
they did it live, and it broke all kinds of remember partway through it broke and because
Yeah,
I
because
mean,
we all watched it as an office on, I think, YouTube. We
yeah.
were watching it.
Yeah, and it like
So,
something broke partway through, and they had to like I had to go back and watch the last 20 minutes later because I ended
yeah,
up we had
same.
an event. Yeah, didn't get to see the very bitter end, but yeah, no, it'll be interesting. I still think their wedding will rival a royal wedding and over there in London, but or England. I mean, it'll be it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how much trends and how much comes out of this as well. So, and plus, we do have a little connection to this wedding because
Oh,
because of our girl Karina. So one of our couples maid of honor or the bride's maid of honor is Karina, who's her keyboardist, and I had no idea when she was giving her speech, she just kept talking about how the bride would come and support her through her music career and went on and on and on about how much support she's given her throughout the years and she's always been her biggest fan and da da da. And so in the middle of her speech, I threw Karina's name in the internet and the very first photo that popped up was her and Taylor Swift. So
like a detective.
yeah, well, sometimes you got to figure out if the people are telling the truth or not. So
That's true. That's
yeah.
true.
And I was like, oh my God.
No, that's
And then
super cool.
and she's all over all the stuff. She's in the book and she's in the documentary and all that good stuff. So someone to Taylor. We're isn't like Kevin Bacon. How many people
Oh,
are
like
we?
how many people are you removed?
Yeah,
Yeah, just one. That which is yeah, super cool. Honestly, not a lot of
yeah,
people can say that. But
yeah.
I love
No,
those. Those are funny. I was gonna say I feel like we should just I wanna hit at least our our most played episodes. So I wanted to hit Mark Addington. That was episode 25
Yep.
back in March, and we were talking about the difference between a wedding DJ and a wedding MC, and if an MC is necessary for your wedding day. And that one was really good, and I think very informative because I don't think a lot of couples know that they are separate things going into their wedding day, and that
Hmm.
a good a good wedding DJ MC,
Does both.
like
Yeah.
Kevin and any of our Fantasy Sound DJs can do both, and they really are kinda driving the timeline in a way and keeping your
Hmm.
guests organized, and that whole episode just really talks about how imperative all of that is to the flow of the day.
Well, and I liked when he got into the common mistakes that couples make
Yeah,
when asking a friend to MC. So that was a good, interesting. Like I remember that part of the conversation was lot of good information came out of that as well.
I agree. Yeah,
Well,
that
and
was
then
a good
it's
one.
funny. So keeping with the ones that were the most popular this last year was the live episode. So that was so much fun because
Yeah.
we had so many different of our friends. And you ended up being sick, so I ended up having to carry the load and went.
Sorry.
That's okay, but I went on. It wasn't it over an hour?
Yeah,
It was
no,
long.
it was long because we had what, like, I think, like, 8 or 9 guests. It
Yeah,
was quite a lot, yeah. Ranging
yeah.
from, like, florists, photographers, planners, like, rental people, we had a stationary person, there was vendors of all kinds
Well, and then we
sitting
even
on
had
that.
crazy JD from Status Salon was on there.
Her story was funny. I know she talked about the was it a Lake Tahoe bride
Yeah,
with her hair? And that was a good story. I thought that
yeah.
one was funny.
I just like giving JD a bad time.
You guys had a good back and forth
Well,
energy on
because
that
we're yeah,
episode.
I pick on her and she picks on me right back. So
There you go.
she's so
Yeah.
funny. And we talked about episode 26 already because of the middle
Mhm,
finger with
mhm,
Tanya and Lindsay,
mhm.
right?
I think we need to touch on Nora a little bit.
Oh yeah,
Episode
Nora.
35.
Yeah, who can
Our
not
most
forget?
played episode, we gotta touch on
It's
that.
yeah, it's the number one. So wedding details you should never skimp on with Nora, and guest priorities she was talking about, and here we go, guest comfort.
Well, and I think her 3, if I'm remembering correctly, it was she's like, "Your guests should" what was it? It was like comfort, food, and atmosphere, I think,
Yeah, I think
were the 3.
you have to
And
go back and
just
listen to get it.
yeah. But that was a good one. Lots of really good little nuggets in that one too.
Tons, yeah.
Yeah.
And just like things that I don't think couples will ever think of is like why service staffing ratios matter. Like having
Yeah.
the right amount of people to take care of your guests. Again, guest experience. My big word, guest experience. It goes back to it, but a lot of this is, you know, she talked about why photo and video are a gift to yourself and not just the
Mhm.
guests, and how planners and coordinators save you from expensive mistakes. So hiring a planner will actually save you money in the long run. I remember good stuff from that
No,
episode. It was
yeah,
a
cuz
lot of fun.
I do think that's a misconception, and what's so funny is I was on our TikTok yesterday, like our Fantasy Sound TikTok, and someone had commented on cuz I had recently done a recap of a little teaser recap clip of Nora's episode, and she was talking about how as a couple, you think that you are the host of the wedding, and you said a lot of
Hmm.
times you are, but it's not necessarily your job to work the wedding. Like, obviously, you take on that role as a host, but that doesn't mean you need to be like having everything in order. That is for your planner to do. And we got a comment on the video from just someone random. They don't follow us or anything, but they had said, like, that is if you can afford a planner.
Mm,
And to me, it's like you can't afford not to get a planner. And I think, like,
yeah.
and we've talked about this a few times about the people who don't hire a planner and the regrets of that. And I brought up two family, like personal family experiences where my grandma, she got married years and years ago, but she talks about her planner to this day, how much she loved her planner and how she did everything for her. And then my own sister getting married almost a year ago now,
Did not
and
have a planner, right?
did not have a planner, and my mom did not realize, like, and I kept saying the whole way through, "Hey, mom, let me know if I can help. Let me know if I can help." And she just did not realize, like, until the day of sometimes, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
like, you're gonna be the one, like, the family, friends are gonna be the ones taking on this role if it's not yourself, and you do not wanna put that responsibility on anyone. So just make room in the budget for a planner.
No, yeah.
So,
You
yeah.
skimp on a few other things and make sure you have the right planner. So
Yep.
all good stuff from 2025. We did it.
I know! It's so crazy. Cause like, now wait, cause when did we start? September of 24?
Yeah, October
October? Yeah, so
or
that's
September. Yeah,
some
it was
yeah, cause I
it
think
was the fall.
our other podcast was, like, August. We started that
Yeah,
one slightly earlier, which is crazy. So, it's been a journey, and it will
it really
continue to be
has.
one,
Well,
and
and we will continue to grow off of our 27 episodes and get even stronger next year.
yes.
Yeah, we will have to
Yeah,
hit,
because we're gonna hit our 50 episodes. This will be our 45th episode right here. So
oh, wow. That's exciting.
yeah, very
So,
exciting. Yeah,
all right. Do we have any New Year's resolutions as we bring this podcast into 2026?
like personal
I don't
resolutions,
know. Or podcasts,
professional podcast
podcasts.
resolutions.
Yeah. I've never thought of it. I don't know why that just came out of my mouth, but it
We
did.
should make some. Yeah, we need direction. We need goals. Um, Honestly, I think it would just be great to, like I said, try to get at least an episode a week. Because I will
Yeah.
say to everyone listening, we do have a lot of recordings coming up, so a lot of great episodes coming your way, a lot of new guests, a lot of repeat guests, so things are gonna be booked and busy, so get your listening ears on.
We should probably have one of our greatest fans come on the podcast next
What,
year.
Kelsey?
Yeah, Miss Kelsey needs to make her way onto the podcast.
Whenever she hears it, she goes, "I heard my name mentioned, blah, blah, blah." She's so funny. I love her.
Yes.
I think she would be great. No, she would flip a lid. I think she'd be very excited about that.
Yep.
But one thing I hope is we get more questions from you guys too. Send your
Yeah.
questions in. We'd love to
It's
answer
fun
them.
it's fun to answer the questions. We do like
It
that.
is fun.
Yeah.
That and just, yeah, give us your thoughts. Like, I think what I personal goal for the podcast, more
Feedback.
like community engagement.
Yes.
Like,
I love it.
let's go back and forth. We really want to make a community, and I think that is a big goal. I think.
Other than Kelsey, because she does give us her feedback regularly.
Yes. So those are two. I think they're both doable. So
There you go.
yes. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, thank you for being with us on the journey through 2025. And we look forward to bringing you so much more in 2026 as we help you now that you're engaged. How the hell do you get married, right?
We'll see you next year.
That's right. Next year. Bye, guys. Happy New Year.
Bye.
To our listeners, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Now That I'm Engaged, How Do I Get Married podcast.
Brought to you by Fantasy Sound Event Services.
I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Please get in touch with me or August if you have any topic you would like us to cover.
Or if you're struggling with your wedding planning, please be sure to submit a question to podcast@fantasysound.com.
I encourage you to check out our other episodes on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're a fan, we'd love if you would subscribe to the podcast and leave a review.
It helps others find our podcast so that they can learn from our guests too. And to everybody listening,
Happy wedding planning!